Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Showcraft presentation, bringing the Iron Squid Qualifier number 1. I'm going to skip ahead because, as we said, we're bringing you a selection of games from this qualifier. We're going all the way up to the round of 4, and we're bringing back your favourite Zerg player, Apollo.
Yeah, man, Symbol. This guy's good. His control is awesome. It seems like he's a little bit too cautious sometimes, but I mean, it's better to be safe than sorry, for sure. And he managed to beat Kara Rice 2-1. And even though it was 2-1, if you consider the map they played on for the Kara Rice 1, it was Xel'Naga Fortress, a very Terran-favored map. So overall, the series was quite convincing, I feel. And I'm definitely interested in this map. Oh my god, against TSL.Polt. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they're not messing around in this tournament, man. It's Polt v Symbol, and it's going to be, needless to say, a team kill one way or the other in this setup.
Yeah, man, definitely. And I mean, his name in game right now is Polt Prime, but of course he transferred over to TSL, recently. And this guy is the GSL Super Tournament winner. He's a winner. He's got it in his blood. But does Symbol, though? That is the question. Symbol, new blood, definitely new into the scene. Definitely going to have a lot of fans after this tournament, this broadcast for sure.
I would certainly think so, and I'm glad to actually see the Koreans getting involved in these kind of tournaments because it does allow them to make a name for themselves, whereas otherwise they would be languishing in Code B Hell or whatever you want to call it there, which I suppose is the Korean equivalent of Ladder Hell, but whatever the case. Yeah. Polt is quite the juicy target to take down. Polt is not to be screwed around with. He has, as you said before, won the Super Cup, and he has a string of other really high results, and the joke used to be that Polt never got any credit, and then he won loads of things. You know, bear in mind, he very recently won the MSI Pro Cup number 5 against Thorzane. He 3-0'd him. He killed Golden very, very rapidly in Across the Galaxy. He 2-0'd him to win that, and he then, of course, took the GSL Super Tournament, and that was a 4-0 against MMA. I just want to point that out. MMA's TVT is pretty good, and Polt 4-0'd them. It was impressive.
Yeah, I mean, even in the Blizzard Cup, he went toe-to-toe with a lot of good players, and finally fell down to MVP, to be honest, that kind of crushed his soul. But recently, he did fall down into Code A within GSL. Code S group's incredibly hard, having to play against Inca, Xenio, Lucera, and so on and so on. All fantastic players, but this guy's a winner, as mentioned, so will Symbol be able to keep up with such a fantastic player, though? That is the question for sure.
That is indeed the question, a question we are about to find out the answer to, so are you ready?
I am ready.
Then let us get started right about now. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Welcome to the round of 4 of the Iron Squid Qualifier number 1. Numero uno, that's un. Not deux, but un, if you wish to go for le français. It's my pleasure to bring you this guy who, you know, I've actually just noticed this. Symbol doesn't rally his first worker. He does it manually. Like, I have to wonder if that's something from the old Brood War days. He doesn't set his rally point until after the first worker comes out, but there you go. Kind of weird. It's TSL.Symbol. He's in the Blue Trunks playing Zerg to the northeast of this, the Daybreak once again, versus his opponent. It is the mighty TSL.Polt. He is in the Red Trunks, and he is playing Terran to the southwest.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot more drawn-out game. And I think, obviously, you know, remembering back to watching Symbol versus Kara Rice, the kind of conclusion I drew then was that I thought Kara Rice played the map incorrectly for his style. He played a bit too aggressively for a slower map. And I think that Polt obviously knows the map a lot better as he plays it in GSL day in, day out, basically. So I expect him to play a lot more passively, take an easier third base, because it is easier to do so, which will naturally lead to a longer game here. And Symbol, though, on the other hand, go ahead and do the same thing as always, you know, hatch first, spawn and pull, and then play as you should do with the reactionary race.
The reactionary race, yes indeed. You don't have a plan with Zerg, you have an opening. You have an opening, and then you kind of go from there, depending on what your opponent's doing, as opposed to the other races, which are a little bit more rigid in that regard. That will be a hatch first right here from Symbol. Nobody is shocked by that against Terran, certainly not on this map.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure we're going to see Rector Hellions, and the number, though, is always questionable. It's always debatable. How many do you go for? How many do you not?
Yep.
And, you know, you can go for 2, and all 4, and to be honest, a lot of the times 4 does the job as same as going for 6 and 8, but it depends on what you want to do with him. If you feel that you can sneak through, if you know player tendencies that he doesn't like to build a lot of lings, for example, we saw how MMA used that against Damaga just recently and was like, well, this guy just doesn't build lings, man, he just builds drones, and MMA tore him apart in the IEM most recently, so we'll have to see what we do, obviously witness here from Polt. And there is the factory, and no doubtably we'll have the reactor coming down very shortly.
Yeah, I have to wonder how many times Polt has actually played against Symbol. They're on the same team now, but that was a fairly recent thing, and obviously the Korean style of things is a little bit different from the West. If these guys are on the same team, then they are playing together. They are practicing together one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, for anybody that doesn't know the way that Korean schedule works, for example, if Polt has to play against a Protoss player in the GSL in 5 days time, he will play nothing but Terran versus Protoss against every single Protoss opponent within that house. So if he has to play against a Zerg player, I am sure that Symbol would have played against him in training to prepare Polt for a GSL match, and vice versa as well. You know, if Symbol needs help versus Terran, that's the way it kind of works in the Korean Pro house. So no doubt these guys have played against each other many, many times, and that actually may induce some form of mind games, and somebody may play different to their regular style just because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. They have no qualms whatsoever about doing that, and in fact it's a very, very good idea if you ever get that kind of team kill scenario for that to happen. At the moment, pretty much straight up, as you would expect, the command center coming down at the appropriate time. The expand will be behind the reactor Hellions to give map control there to Polt to try and eliminate any kind of ground forces, and these like lings will be picked off almost immediately, kind of like that. But then he's going to look to try and deny creep spread, and denying creep spread from Symbol's pretty difficult. He doesn't mess around when it comes to his creep tumors.
Yeah, he pushes the spine out a lot. He builds a few lings. Well, actually, I say a few. He builds 16, and that's definitely going to shut down anything. So Polt has to be very, very careful on how he uses and where he goes with these highs, because if you lose them, you lose all the map control. You lose the Xanolitars, you lose the third base, denial. So he can't lose these right now.
No, he really can't. It looks like he might if he's not careful. Oh, a nice little juke right there. Very good, and he's able to get a group of 4 together. Interestingly enough, behind this, Polt actually built a second factory, and there's a second reactor coming down as well.
Ooh, we could be seeing some Blue Flame Hinds. Well, I'm pretty sure we are going to see some Blue Flame Hinds come out right now, and that's a smart choice versus player tendencies. If you know that your training partner uses lings all the time, then go ahead and do this. And right now, oh no, it's not even Blue Flame Hinds. Look at that. He may just be building pure red Hellions, and this actually could be GG and set. If he doesn't find out about this, then it doesn't matter how many lings you have, there's going to be more Hellions. It just doesn't matter. So Symbol has to be so careful, and will he scout it though? That is the question.
That is indeed the question, but it's really hard to scout that when you've got full map control put in place simply by the number of Hellions that you have on the map. He may get a whiff of it if he sees maybe more than 6, because that would be a highly unusual number to the point where you're thinking, okay, what is he up to? This is not just for creep denial here. But Symbol is looking for a flank, looking to try and find his way in there, sneak around it. Polt's got patrolling going on. He's got Hellions at the main to try and deny this kind of scouting effort. And as you said, once the critical mass is reached here for Polt, then lings don't do a damn thing. It's a wall of flame. You can't run into that.
Oh, and Ling's actually on the natural right now. Spot another 6 or so Lings. I think he smells what's going on now. There's already 6 out. So all he needs to do right now is more Banelings. That's going to be the key to this. He has decent creep spread, which Polt is trying to deny right now, which is so smart. And he completely not completely walls in, but does a good job of it. There's only one kind of gap that Hellions can come in from. And with a few Banelings being morphed, and I'm surprised he's not doing that right now. I guess he can wall in with Queens, but will he be able to hold on to this, though? That is the question.
That is a good question indeed, and wow,
look at that.
That's a look at the angle. It's like I've barely ever seen that done before, using the AoE to actually hit both buildings at once. This reminds me of Dune 2 right here with Sonic tanks. Polt Prime annihilates both of those, and even a Transfuse doesn't actually save it. We've got more Hellions on the way, plus 1 weapon upgrade coming in as well, and, well, you usually don't see Hellions used like this, but it's quite effective.
Yeah, man, this reminds me so much of I Am Happy. He uses this a lot in the GSL, but outside, this is never used. And, oh my god, if these break through, obviously Broodlings will help a little bit. Baneling traps have been set up. A Roach Warren on the way as well. And we are definitely seeing Mech this game. And is he going to go up though?
That's a good question. What are we looking at? 14 Hellions right now and a single Marauder. That's all he's got on the map. Funnily enough, any kind of counterattack could be potentially devastating if he was able to get through, which is why he's created this supply depot wall off here. Goes in again, and the Spine Crawlers just don't last against that kind of stuff. Banelings easily target fired down. There's the quick transfuse.
Oh, Banelings.
Oh, will the Banelings connect? No, they will not. Polt's control just too good at the moment.
Oh man, Polt is just destroying this game, preventing a third base. It's almost 11 minutes and he's never going to be able to take a third base though. Roaches are in the way a lot right now. Speed as well, +1, and we need to start seeing tanks, and there are being put down onto the other two factories. So tanks will come out soon. I'm interested to see if he goes Thor actually. If he goes Thor, he may be in a bit of trouble, but oh, look how much splash damage the aliens do even to Roaches right now with this +1 upgrade.
Yeah, the +1 upgrade's about to kick in for them, and the AoE is fantastic. Polt's positioning with Hellions is superb. He does so much damage. He knows exactly what angle to get in. He's got 17 Hellions right now. Now throwing a few Marauders into the mix because he knows that there are Roaches on the field. The third's been taken, but it's a more dangerous third than you would usually see because Symbol has been unable to spread creep to it.
Oh yeah, man. And if Roaches are caught in small numbers, they will die to Hellions. There's no question about it. As weird and as stupid as that is, Roaches do die to Hellions in small numbers. So
yeah,
yes,
they do. There we go, he goes for the angle once again, but Symbol is definitely re-maneuvering his Roaches to make sure that an optimum angle of attack is not acquired for Polt, and as a result, Polt's taking a couple of casualties, and the Roach count is still fairly high at 17. The speed is about to kick in as well, which is going to give him a huge edge against these Hellions.
And I'm wondering if will Polt decide to take the back base or the center base? As Mech, you can actually do both. Obviously, you can't really attack into siege tanks and so on, but if he decides to take the back left base, he can go orbital. If he decides to take the one in the center, he'll probably need planetary. So by just going orbital, it looks like he'll take the back left one. But right now, with a few Marauders in the mix too, that's such a devil combination of having Marauders with tanks and Hellions. It makes Roaches almost vulnerable to just any kind of push. And right now, +2 is on the way, Stim as well. This is a very smart composition here from Polt, knowing that pure Roach is going to be the way that he's going to try and deal with this.
I have to wonder if Polt knows about Symbol's tendency to borrow his Banelings as well, because obviously they do play together. It's not so much of a surprise as it was for Kawaii Rise. Already, you see Symbol with 4 borrowed Banelings at that ramp, and the potential for damage there is massive.
Yeah, if he managed to like.
Oh, so careful. He actually even did damage to the Banelings. They didn't realize it. Oh, God, that is heart attack inducing.
Oh, he had them selected too. Symbol had hold of them. Was like, no, I want more than just a few.
Yeah.
Because only 3 were on it, and maybe next time he'll poke out. And if Banelings land on these Hellions, he can basically walk over with Ling only. Because if there's no Hellions, then Lings are going to tear this apart for sure. Meanwhile, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw an infestation pit. He kind of needs an infestation pit soon. Oh, actually, he already has one, sorry. So I guess we'll be seeing the Hive coming up shortly. But I really do like the pressure and the contain kind of that Symbol has Polt under, despite Polt being on 3 bases.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I like the use of the tunneling Roaches there as well. Missile turrets are not currently deployed at the front line, which is something that I'd like to see from Polt, and as I say that, there it goes down. The missile turret at the front on the 3rd base right there. The tunneling Roaches will become a little less effective there, but it's still nice to be able to do that. Poke in, do a bit of damage, pull back, and Roaches just don't tend to die that fast, so you can get all that health back immediately.
And he has to go to Greater Spire from this. I mean, he's already seen Marauders out. There goes the Spire being planted down. He has to. There's no choice. And amazing scan by Polt. They're so good at timings, knowing when stuff should happen as he scans onto the main hatchery and sees that morphing as a hive. And that may force him to push out very shortly, or at least take a 4th base. He can definitely prepare for late game as he throws down a Starport. And with playing Mech, you can't really afford to get Ghosts. It always comes down to Mech, like Thors and Vikings, and these Banelings are perfect scouts, man.
Oh, they're perfect scouts, certainly. Symbol he just doesn't like to detonate those Banelings, man. He hates to reveal that until he absolutely has to. But you're right, they are perfect scouts. There's nothing really wrong with that, and they could, of course, pop up, kill up some reinforcements or come in from behind.
Yeah, this is... Oh my god, Bailings are so many. Oh my god. Did Polt see... I don't think he saw the morph. Oh my god.
He didn't.
He
He has no idea.
He didn't see it.
He has no idea. Oh my god, it's huge! Ah! I just... Oh!
Holy crap.
Oh my god, the patience of it. Symbol, the patience. He just destroyed Polt. Oh.
Symbol, who are you? Who are you? Wow, that was so sick.
No kidding. That's unbelievable. And you, at that point, you must be so excited to see that. You know, I could do this, but he waits till the optimum moment. The detonation is perfect. The contact at the front is fantastic. He cleans it up.
And guys, if you've ever played mech before, and you push out, and you lose everything, you know what that means, right? You know what that means. This is such a bad position. Yeah, man. Oh my god, that push was designed to kill Hive units, and it was gonna do it. It was gonna kill the 4th base and maybe the 3rd, but oh, that was such an awesome maneuver by Symbol there. And I'm actually caught up right now. I'm lost in words. That just changed everything right now. Look, he's getting all the upgrades on the production tab. He's got great things, man. This guy's gone to all the Korean clubs. He's got all the girls. He's wearing the bling. He doesn't care. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we're not even talking about normal bling. He's actually wearing Dignitas bling around his neck at this very moment. It's like, here you go, I've got my pet Protoss. That's how good he's feeling at the moment. Symbol is almost maxed out. Polt takes huge punishment as a result of that engagement. Is forced onto the back foot. There are still these Banelings borrowed here, and you know he's going to wait till the perfect moment to do something with that.
Yeah, I mean, right now, it's literally been like 5 minutes since that push came, in-game minutes. And that is so much time. He can do everything. He's taken so many bases. He's got Broodlords morphing. And let's have a look at the unit count. There's nothing to deal with these Broodlords. And because he's been concentrating on upgrading his mech army and building mech, his Marines are only at 1-0 right now. They're not going to be touching Broodlords. And Vikings are so late. And there's Infestors. There is a drop for Polt going to the main base, but that's a little too late, to be honest.
It is. I'm just looking at this engagement here at the front. The Banelings are finally found. Unfortunately, he didn't detonate them in time. The missile turret came down, but Prime, Polt in fact, sorry, Optimus Prime, I love it. He's going directly for the spawning pool, which against obviously a Ling heavy style like that is very, very nice. It will delay reinforcements, but the fact is that he's pretty much maxed and he doesn't care. Here it comes in for the flag, so Maxed Army versus Maxed Army. How will this turn out? Let's see some fungal growths, and Polt's looking to focus fire on those Infestors. Symbol keeps them at the back with full energy. The damage is absolutely enormous, and he doesn't really have a good answer to these Broodlords at the moment. Only a couple of Vikings are so slow to bring them down.
Yeah, and he's doing a lot of damage here. He's going to prevent... Oh my god, SCVs have been fungal growth, and so are ground units, and...
It's huge.
Oh, it's so much damage, but he is losing a lot of Broodlords here to these Vikings that are popping out, and all these Broodlords will go down, and that is, you know, to be honest, I mean, looking at units lost or resources lost, that wasn't that good of a trade.
No, it wasn't. Symbol. No, it really, really wasn't, unfortunately. Once the second pair of Vikings came out, you're also going to notice that those Broodlords actually have no upgrades. They're completely vanilla, and that's perhaps a weakness in that force against +3 mech. That's pretty scary. You can kill very, very quickly, and your force is very, very cost efficient. Polt has proven that. Polt has now swung back into the game with a significant army advantage.
Yeah, man, and I think Symbol just relaxed a little bit too there. I think he was as happy as we were when that happened, but this is the, you know, super tournament winner. And Polt is straight back in it, and a little bit of a slip up with that army fight there from Symbol, just throwing away a lot of gas intensive units, has now forced this counter attack, which has destroyed his middle base, which has overall prevented his gas income, which is the most needed thing right now. Look how many minerals he has. He's not using Lings against mech. Are you stupid? He needs gas, and that is what he does not have.
Yeah, funnily enough at this point, actually going Ling wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. The Hellion count is incredibly low. The tank count is not large enough to kill large numbers. And this composition that he's got here is going to get punished very, very hard indeed.
Oh my god. It's 116 Lings, man.
Yeah, that's what I said. It should probably build Lings. There's no Hellions. Yeah, 116, that pretty much qualifies. The problem is, will it be enough? Because the Fungals are going off, and he's doing tons of damage, but once again, he loses all of those Broodlords, sinks all of that lava and all of that gas, and here come the Lings. The surround is massive. It never ends.
Wow. There was a big army from Polt in the middle, which was missing from the fight, but these 3 medivacs are getting picked off.
Kaboom, that was full.
It swings the other way once again, and now these tanks are sieged up with +3, and I don't think these Lings should be fighting here.
Well, you know what? They've done enough damage to make it worthwhile. Thor goes down.
Jesus Christ, 2-2 is good.
Yeah, as I said, Lings are a perfect answer to what he's got right now. He doesn't have the Hellion count to actually deal with that many Lings in those kind of areas. And obviously, Symbol's engaging in brilliant positions as well. He's getting surrounds, he's getting flanks.
Yeah, so good, and I can't believe that his production has been 116 Lings. That is a lot of lava, by the way.
Oh yeah, he's
and
been stacking.
Have that amount of lava at that stage of the game is incredible. He's hitting so many lava injects, and the game once again is swung the other way. And I really do like that overload in the top left, denying that expansion. That creep spread, obviously fantastic position there. And once again, this army in the bottom right, a lot of Lings out again.
Cleaned up very, very easily. Symbol is not having issues right now holding onto that 4th base. He would love to re-establish, of course, and he's getting to the position where he should be confident enough to do that. The force composition still lacks Hellions from Polt, which is a real risk. You don't have fully upgraded Marines, and you don't have enough AoE to adequately deal with it. Bear in mind, the real weakness of Polt right now, he's got no armor on either his mech or on his Marines, which means that these upgraded Lings wreck them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, he's choosing to use Marines over Hellions right now. He's like, well, you know, Marines are pretty good too, but I mean, it's a question of debate, and I actually like to go into that in more detail later. But of course, there is a fight going on, Totalbiscuit.
There is indeed.
This army is moving up now, and Polt is a little bit out of position. He's got to be careful.
Yeah, he gets a redeployment there, but Symbol already realizes what's going on and pulls back. And units lost at the moment. Well, Polt has lost slightly more. It's still a very, very even game up to this point. So let's hear that analysis. I know you were desperate to say it.
Yeah, I mean, I actually want to go into more detail with it in, like, research. Like, I don't know what is the correct answer. Medivac and Marines versus Hellions. And I think Marines going to give you the all-round... I'm just thinking about theorycrafting it. I guess Marines give you a better all-round... They're just better versus everything, right? Yep. Broodlords, Lings, compared to Hellions, which are only good against Lings, would probably be the case here, so...
Yep, an attack, an attack right there on the 5th base of Symbol is cleaned up very, very easily by Symbol. Doesn't have to worry too much in the meantime. Also denies, kills a bunch of mules on the 4th of Polt, and Symbol now going for a big run by onto this base, and it's naked. There's nothing left of that mineral line.
Yeah.
Look at Polt's SCV count. It's so incredibly low.
Oh man, that is low actually. And the Broodlords are getting relatively high now, and so is the fungal growth count, and Infestors are... Well, they got a lot of energy too, and Polt is losing a lot here, and like you said, he doesn't have that much money anymore.
He really is about to go out at this point. He doesn't have the Hellions. He's got Marines up against Infestors, Lings, and Banelings, and Broodlords. Hell no, says Symbol.
Oh man, Symbol's so good. I can't believe he's just done that. And I mean, he's building so many more Lings as well, and
I don't even think kind of Stefano style here.
5 Marines at a time.
Yeah, he's playing the style, the old school style really of Stefano, and he's playing it with a lot of Broodlords as opposed to Ultras, and he's just playing heavy Ling against Marine Tank and Thor, which is absolutely fine.
Absolutely, and this is so good. I mean, I'm impressed, man. I'm impressed, and this clearly shows you there are so many unknown, underrated individuals that have no spotlight whatsoever, yet could possibly be the next GSL champion given the correct opportunity. And even though there are mistakes from Symbol in this game, there's so much talent here for sure.
It's raw talent, man. It really, really is. He will take risks every now and again. I love the fact that he focuses a lot on borrowed banelings, and he focuses a lot on really good fungal growths. He's not gone down the style that you see a lot of Zerg players currently doing, which is to use an absolute... Oh, look at that! Oh, it's brilliant! The baneling bomb is absolutely fantastic. And there's the, once again, cleanup here. That lack of armor for Polt has hurt him so much. And that is the GG, ladies and gentlemen. Actually looks like a set of street lights right there. An unusual looking GG there from Polt. Don't know what that means, but hey, he is out, and to be fair, he's been out for the last 2 minutes, so that was an epic game from both sides, and Symbol, as you said, so very good.
So good, man. So good. And just going back to that point, you know, Marines versus Hellions is once they have +2, +3, the kind of response is that they're just more cost-effective units, right? I mean,
Yep.
Hellions are 100 per Hellion. That's 200 per one you build, and that's 4 Marines with 3-0. They're a lot more efficient. They're also capable of shooting into the air, which Hellions are not.
Indeed.
So I guess that choice is smart there by Polt to do so, and actually caught me off guard by a little bit and had to kind of think for once. But most definitely awesome play by both of these players, and I want to get into game number 2, man. That was so good.
Absolutely. It was incredibly good. Let's just go right in. I don't see any reason to delay this. I'm going to see the next game in this series. It has already turned out to be unbelievably good, and we are seeing some incredible play here by Symbol, but once again, you don't muck about with Polt. I mean, Polt had the momentum many times during that game. It was very much a tug-of-war between those two players, and let's see if he can come back on game 2, which is going to be on Totalbiscuit. Once again, the older GSL version between these players. And I'm just going to check, is it the one with the...
I know, that's so weird, right?
This one has rocks. This one has rocks, actually.
Yeah,
so
that's what I mean.
Version.
I didn't know if the GSL is a new version or an old version or whatever, but this one is the latter version. So
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what the hell was going on with that other replay where we had, you know, no rocks on the 3rd and 1 gas, but this one looks like the latter version, so I don't know what that is, but whatever.
I'm not really sure, honestly. Maybe it was just a bit of confusion between the two guys, or whatever the case. We are going to be going on to the normal run-of-the-mill Totalbiscuit. That's going to be the next game in this series. We've currently got Symbol from TSL leading 1-0 in the best of 3 in the round of 4 of the Iron Squid Qualifier number 1 against his teammate Polt. Are you ready to go?